What's good, Kick Crew, and welcome back to the third episode of Kicks and
Black, stop playing with it.
featuring my guy, a guy that makes me feel like we're best friends. He's a shop owner, entrepreneur, philanthropist, uh, probably the king of Cincinnati for real, for real. Today we have Matt TOMAMICHEL, owner of Corporate. If you don't know, or Corporate got him. Let's be specific because they got him. But if you don't know, Matt, introduce yourself and let the people get to know who you are.
And you kind of did it right there, man. So yeah, like you said, Matt Michael, owner of Corporate. We're in Cincinnati, Indianapolis, and Dayton. Just kind of a Midwest vibe. That's the shop. Let's see. I am three-time girl dad. I am co-founder of Bigger Than Sneakers, a nonprofit based out of Cincinnati that does work in Ohio as well as Indianapolis or Indiana. Man, I mean, I'm just happy to be here. I love footwear, I love clothing, and my passion has allowed me for 16 years to be thankful to operate and own corporate.
Dope, dope. Now, I know you've been in business for over a decade, so I know you've seen a ton of shoes come through, and I know your collection is probably crazy. Not even probably, I know it's crazy. But what do you have on foot today?
Man, today I took them off so y'all could get a little bit closer peek. But I've been running these 85 one lows. I know a lot went into bringing these back, and
Yeah.
they've been staying on foot a lot. Super comfortable. I do recommend anybody to get the true size. Don't try to go half size down. They fit tight. But man,
Okay.
it's just been my shoe of choice lately. Just beating the heck out of them, as well as you caught me on an off day. I usually have the black cement fours on. That's
Okay.
a 4 out of 7 days of the week shoe for me.
So how many of those would you say you have in your collection?
The fours or just black
Yeah.
cement?
Black cements.
Black cement, I'm actually at 20 something right now currently with you know, uh 2012s,
Yeah.
2019s. I still got 6 pairs of those dead stock.
Shoot.
And then the latest rendition of it,
Mhm.
I got I think 10 of those. So yeah, man, that's clearly my favorite shoe of all time.
I don't even gotta ask, guys. We already know his favorite shoe of
Yeah.
all time, Black Cement 3, aka Bread 3. If you guys are, I guess, new to the sneaker game, but they were originally called the Black Cements. My
Yeah.
man's got 20 plus pairs, about 20 plus pairs. That's major.
Yeah, the
That's
four is
crazy. I thought
that's it, man. Look, got my daughter's first pair sitting on my desk. Like,
that's
man,
fire.
it's like that's the shoe for us and our family.
For me, what's on foot? Of course, let me take these off. Being the airship king, I have on the pine greens.
Yeah,
Now,
man.
to be honest, I wanted to wear these. I really wanted to wear these.
Man.
Only reason I didn't is because I don't have a second pair. I need a second pair before I could wear these.
Oh,
I thought
dang.
about putting the sole protectors on them, but I just need a second pair. Like my favorite airships, I gotta have at least 2 to 3 pairs. And that right there, your airship dog, no lie. Let me pick it back up so people can see it. This is one of my favorite because I'm a big suede fan. And I believe your airship was the first to have suede on it. And I was like, oh, I gotta get another one. And the thing with me is I wanted these so bad, I jumped the gun hella early and ordered them online, ordered them through Go. I was like, I can't even miss.
Yeah.
Like I can't risk missing.
And listen, when first off, you're right with the suede. We were the first ones with it. Also the double swoosh. That
Yeah.
was one of the things that we wanted to put on our shoe first before anybody else, and just bring it to life a little bit more, and really just have fun with the shoe. So yeah, man, appreciate you on that. And let me tell you, when I first started seeing people sell them on GOAT, man, my heart sunk because man, we had 5,000 pairs. So
Okay.
I was nervous, man. I was like, dang, if they buying them on there, they gonna buy them. And no, man, I mean, yeah, you guys, if you were one of them early guys, I remember seeing like 420 somebody paid for a pair. I was like, dang, let's just buy these at retail. Like, let's,
You know,
hopefully not too many people did, but I understand where they were coming from when that happened. But yeah, man, we just, thankful for that moment for sure.
yeah, I mean, it was a first of its kind airship, and I think that's what made everybody go so crazy over it. Because, like I said, the suede, like you mentioned, the double swoosh was the
Yep.
patent leather white, and then this new buck. Like y'all really did something completely different, and I think everybody, especially with it being a collab, like, oh, it's gonna be hella limited. Like
Yeah.
I gotta snag it early because look, that was the FOMO on my end. I was like, I can't even risk missing it. And then the actual release, I wasn't even in a position to buy at the time because I would have doubled up then. But I'm gonna get another one. Don't worry, and then I'm gonna send it to you because I got to get one of them signed.
Oh
But
man.
yeah,
Yeah.
y'all killed it with this.
Thanks, man. You know that signature on like what I tried to do was I tried to sign every single person's box that I could or that asked. Because like you said, kind of something that you were talking about, just like making people feel like they're more than just a customer, like
Facts.
a true, fan. No, like your family, man. Like, you're supporting me and my family.
Yeah.
My family is the corporate family. Anybody that I work with, man, those are the people that like, yo, bro, we do this as a collective. It ain't Matt and then corporate. It ain't Matt and the corporate family. It's just the corporate family. So,
Facts. And guys, for those that don't know what Matt is talking about earlier, is I told Matt he has a gift at making people feel like they're welcome, like that we're best friends or we tight, like we boys. And to be honest, like Matt and I met through social media not even too long ago. I might even say maybe a month ago, but he's so warm and welcoming. I told him, I was like, God, like you got a gift to make people feel like y'all are tight, y'all are good friends, and you
man,
just met the man. So he's dope for that. But he told me earlier, like that's embedded in who he is and how he wanted to interact in the community. And like he said, like we're not fans, we're family. And that's
yeah,
something I truly appreciate because a lot of times, like you mentioned off camera, a lot of folks you support will sometimes just make you feel like a fan and not like family. So I
man.
definitely appreciate that. All right. Hold on. Big shouts out to Supplement for sponsoring today's video. If you don't know, Supplement is the first Black-owned insulated water bottle company. And man, I gotta tell you, it's fire. So part of the design that caught my attention was that it was based off a sneaker. So we got laces here and we got the rubber grip sole here. But this thing will keep your colds cold for 24 hours and your hots hot for 12. So make sure you hop on the link below and grab you some Supplement.
Just like, I mean, think about it too. Like, all right, man, let's break it down. Like, I own a business. I create products so people can, feel like they're a part of this. Like that's the difference between, being transactional and then being somebody that's just like, look, man, regardless if you spend $1 in here, like you come through, you clown with us, you can hang with us. Like I'm not opposed to that at all. Where like, man, I mean, we've all walked into a shop that's stuffy as hell where you're like,
Yeah.
all they wanted was my dollar. They ain't care nothing about my day. They ain't, it was strictly transactional. And that right there is just like one of the problems with things that I see in the game. Like, man, we all gotta appreciate, the people that support us because especially now, like man, we're in a time people don't have to come spend their money. People don't have to be in here. So for me, I'm just gonna make sure that my staff and my guys they feel like yo, everybody that comes in that door is important. So
And I think that's important. I mean, as a leader, you show them how they should be toward everybody. Because I mean, it's no doubt everybody looks up to you, looks to you for direction. So being a leader like that will only trickle down to having other individuals that work for you act in the same manner. So that's fire. Like I appreciate you. Like I even appreciate you here doing this interview. You was so open. You was like, yeah, man, let's do it. Like I was like, dang, he probably gonna be like, nah, cuz like I don't know. But you was just like, yeah, like it was nothing. So once again, I appreciate that. And like I started to allude to earlier, you've been in the game for over a decade. Like you've been, I think corporate is what, 13, 14 years old now?
So this year we'll be celebrating 16 years.
16, dang, I'm behind.
It's fine, bro. Just trust me. You know, I can't believe it sometimes. I'm like, man, we got through a decade, and then, last year was 15, and the shoe released, and this year is 16. It's like this thing just keeps going, man. It's like, I mean, you got a daughter, like,
Yeah.
man, you can't even believe how old she is compared to when you first held her.
When you
And
first came out, now that's facts.
yeah,
That's facts.
time just keeps going, man.
That's beautiful, like to have what 3 locations you mentioned, to be doing this for 16 years, to have a collaboration, to have family. I don't even want to call them fans, but have family in all these areas just willing to support you. Like I mentioned earlier, like with me being the quote unquote airship king, like the way you treated me, I was just like, look, this is where I'm going to get my airships from now on. So just so you guys know, if I get a new airship in, it's from corporate, guys. So make sure y'all tune in and make sure y'all cop from corporate. You feel me? How you treat people and how you just interact with everybody. And I know I done said it 100 times. It's so genuine, and we don't get that too honest. Too often. And like you said, with this current state of economy, it don't take nothing to be nice to somebody. And although you have a business, I know you're not being nice to get business, but that's what makes people warm up to your business and want to spend their money with you, because
or come
anybody
back.
could spend it anywhere else.
Yeah, or come back. It's like I always say, just all right. So we have a Monday morning roundup with our crews. I'm like, look, man, just be the difference in somebody's day. Don't worry about the sales. Be the difference in somebody else's day.
Word.
Like, you don't know if that person came in, they got something personal going on. They just need a relief. They call it, retail therapy for a reason.
Therapy. Yeah.
So it's like I just try to encourage everybody in the shops, like, look, just be the best you can be for them, man, because you don't know what they need, and man, they don't even know if you need it.
Facts. That's 100%. Now, Matt, with you being in business 16 years plus, I know it didn't start with you just opening a shop. Could you give the individuals watching a little background of how you got started, where you started from, and how you got to create corporate?
Yeah, so originally I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. I was working at the mall here, Tri-County, with Foot Action. I was very fortunate, worked there throughout high school. I went on to, attend Wright State University for a year. I would still come home on the weekends and work there. And then I transferred back home to UC for my second year of college. And at that time, unfortunately, had a friend that passed away. It kind of made me, spend my, hey, there's an urgency now. And that gave me an urgency to figure it out. One of the things about him, he was always encouraging. He was always super, down to tell me, like, man, you got to get your own. And man, so I took his words and really held on to that. I was on Nike Talk at the time, and I got in touch with a guy from Minnesota that actually owned a shop. It was called Status. And man, before I knew it, I moved up to Minnesota. I would work at his shop during the day, and in the evenings I would go over to the Mall of America and work at the Foot Locker, to make sure that I had some money in my pocket as well, because unfortunately the shop couldn't support my my payroll. So for 6 months, it's dedicated to that, and then we opened a second location out in Columbus, Ohio. This is about 2007, and again, the recession was taking a toll on
Right.
us. So by 2008 June, I was, you know, out of a job, out of an apartment, out of everything. And that's when I buckled down and was like, yo, if everybody jumping out the window, I might as well too. And that's how you got corporate, man. I came home and I think within like 2 days I had signed a lease. Is a
Work.
Yeah, it was a bad location, but I had a dream and man, I had the right people supporting me. Um, I finessed the way to have a Nike account from day one. And man, we were very fortunate enough to have that because it allowed us to, be able to open up really quickly. So for 3 years, first 3 years of my business was terrible, man. I mean, I'm talking about the most consistent person through the door was UPS or FedEx, and that was because they were bringing deliveries that I just wasn't selling, man. It was really,
Mm,
it was bad, but God had a plan, and man, I took a dinner, and I found a new location that night, and man, it's been on since. We moved down to Hyde Park, which is a part of Cincinnati, and we've been there for man, 13 years. So restarted my business and then yeah, man, just kept chipping away, just trying to get better. Studied a lot of the other shops, the things that I liked about them, things I didn't like, and put together my game plan a lot better with experience. And been fortunate enough now to enter Indianapolis. We did that 3 years ago, and then Dayton 6 months ago or 8 months ago. So
wow.
it's trying to expand and looking forward to the future of expansion and growth, man. So keeping it going.
Look, man, you doing it. You doing it. No adversity kept you down. And I think that's what's important for anybody watching this, looking to have a business in general, not even just like a retail shop, like corporate, but any business. You got to stay the course. Like that's, as an entrepreneur myself, and I'm sure you would agree, like you got to keep believing in yourself and keep chipping away at what you believe in. You got to
Yeah,
stay the course.
yeah, man. There's people that, entrepreneurs that I'm like, man, one thing about us, we just keep going. Like, man, you can get knocked down, you could have a bad day, but the next day you wake up and you just kind of like, yo, I'm gonna put myself in a better place today. And that's kind of like that entrepreneurial spirit that hopefully anybody that's viewing this kind of, they feel like they got it, man. Just believe in that. Believe that you got it and just keep going after it, man. And anybody I can help along the way, like man, feel free to reach out after this.
And that's why I do this. Like I want to be able to provide free game for anybody that's interested in having a business similar to yours, having a shop, or just an entrepreneur in general. That's why I have like people from different backgrounds or different business backgrounds more so on, just to shed light on these things. Something that you said that earlier was that you were able to get a Nike account early with corporate. Um, how does one go about getting an account? Like if they're just starting, just going about opening their store, like what are some of the things someone that's planning to do this, like what should they have in order to even try to open an account?
Well, it's different now, so I'm not really sure from experience, but what I can tell you is just like have a backup plan because like if your goal is to get the Nike account, then it's not going to happen. So what it is you have to create something that then lures Nike to understand or kind of almost respect what you're building without them.
Mhm.
So my advice to anybody would just be like, make sure your product mix is strong, and what you can get from the jump, just work that angle the best that you can. So then you can lure the next guy, because that's all the game is, man. It's like, why do we carry bait? Because bait opens the door to something else that we want, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that is at the moment, but yo, seeing those names align with corporate, now people are like, oh, we can take them serious. And that should be anybody's goal when they're opening a shop. It's just like, how can I look as professional as possible? Like, how can I bring whatever I'm trying to build to the best light? And then just visually execute. You know, your social media is a way that, you know, can level the playing field for you really quickly. So, man, just make sure you have a good social media presence.
Now, you mentioned vape as an example. Somebody opening a shop, like how would they go about getting accounts? Like, is it a similar process with most businesses, or is it more like you go
So,
to trade shows, or
not like trade shows now are just kind of like if you're just new to everything, right?
Mhm.
So if you look at like the people that are coming through and opening new shops, it's like they put in their time at other shops, right? So nobody is in this game kind of by themselves. Like, man, I'm familiar with everybody in the game because, yo, I remember him from here, or, you know, he started over there. You know, that's just how this game works. It's kind of like a fraternity, you know what I mean? Like, yo,
Word.
he came through the ranks of James Whitner, he came through the ranks of, you know, or Wish, and you know, whoever. It's just like that's how it goes. Like nobody's coming off the street and just being like, yo, I'm gonna open a sneaker store. You have to pay your dues. You have to get in the shops. You have to start there. Like it's almost damn near impossible to just be like, yo, I'm just gonna open a shop, have no connects, have no contacts, and just be okay doing this. Like you have to put in your time.
Yeah.
So that's how I would tell anybody, like, yo, go put in your time, be very honest with whatever owner takes you under their wing, and just tell them like, yo, my plan is to make this thing better and learn from it. We can't be mad at them. And man, to be honest, you never know if you know there's a time where somebody come under corporate and I'm like, yo, you got the keys now, man. I've took it as far as I want to. You never know.
Word. That's smooth. And I mean that makes sense. You know, I spoke with some guys from Under Armour, and they were all talking about how they got into the footwear game and becoming footwear designers. And like you said, they had to go through the ranks. Like there were some people that they knew in the footwear industry that helped get them in. But of course, once they got in, they had to pay their ranks. And basically, it's your network. From what I'm hearing, you know, from that interview, and also what I'm hearing from you guys. Like, you got to have a strong network in
That
order to move this thing forward properly.
you have to mentors, good mentors, right?
Yeah,
You know, they really do sow seeds with you, man. And they want to see you become as good as you can get. And that's where it's like, man, I'm thankful for everybody that is giving me time on their calendar, you know, even if it's 10 minutes. Man, even if
yeah,
somebody looked at something that I proposed, they blew it up. Yo, I got better from it.
yeah,
Give you a story. A guy used to work at Nike almost 10 years or man, 13 years ago. Yeah, it's probably within my first 3 years of business. Yo, man, he hated my idea of how I wanted to build the culture and everything in Cincinnati. And man, he told me, man, don't you know at All-Star Weekend, we worked with that guy. And he was blown away by the way that we presented ourselves now. It's like, yo, man, but had I not had that tough conversation, might not
yeah.
have. So, yeah, man, it just takes a little bit.
I get that. You got to have your vision, your dream. Not everybody gonna see it how you see it, but
Yep.
you got to stay like I said, stay the course. So that's dope. So I'm sure he was blown away. Like once he saw y'all. I mean, even before he seen y'all, like what you've been
Yeah.
doing. Like you said, you opened another store 8 months ago, another store 3 years ago, and then you've had your current location for 13 plus years. Like he seen it the whole time. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
I mean, that's just all sometimes people need to see. They just need to see it work. And
Yeah,
you know, don't one thing I try to tell people is like today's no, don't take that as the forever. Like just
yeah,
work harder and get better and you know, ask the right questions so you get the yes. Man,
yeah.
because I mean, I just remember being younger. Like when I opened the shop, I was 22 years old, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, like
I did not know that.
that doesn't happen. Um, you know, and 22 to where I was at then, it was like, oh man, I'm gonna show them, right? Like I'm gonna show them, I'm gonna show
Yeah,
them up, I'm gonna be this. But like now at 37, I'm like, okay, well, we're just gonna work harder and we're gonna show
Yeah.
you, what you're not seeing currently.
With I guess your longevity in corporate, well, with corporate more so, and having a shop, what's something you think that kept you going for so long? Like if you had to pinpoint maybe I don't say a single thing, but pinpoint something that really got you to where you are today, what do you think that would be?
If I had to pinpoint what got me here, um, just kind of the ability to get better, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I said, if I'm not an expert or something, I'm gonna find the expert. I'm gonna ask them the questions and I'm gonna figure it out and how it can help us get better. That's one of my best skills, I think. Like, the people that work with me, man, they work with me because they add value, not because we do the same things or we have the same skill set. They add value that I don't have. And that's what I think makes me, who I am and makes corporate run the way it does because it's like without them, we're not our best.
Some entrepreneur, but basically say the same thing. Like once you start to get a flow of your business, you find the things that you probably aren't as good at, and you hire somebody that's just as good at or that's good at it and cares about your business just as much as you do. So it keeps things running smoothly. And this is not, it's not the first time I heard it. So it's like reassurance for other people that's watching this that once you get your business set up and have a flow, start hiring people that like doing the job you don't like doing or aren't
Right.
as good at it doing.
Yeah, just find the right people, man. That's the biggest thing. Just find the right people that can help you. Because man, we can't, you want to do it all, but you just realistically can't. And when you can figure that out, like sky's the limit. It's like, man, you just get so much more done so fast.
Before we got on, I seen that airship in the background. Can we bring that down and talk about that right quick?
This one?
Yes, sir. You know, you know which one.
Yeah, so when we were doing our creative process, we just wanted to see it in a different way, right? Like we wanted to see the shoe, in a way that we hadn't seen it yet come to retail.
Yeah,
Everybody was just like collar, color, and that's it, in a swoosh color, right?
yeah.
But we just started to block out the shoe a little bit differently. This one was kind of inspired by the first set of Supreme shoes that
Okay.
they did, the Dunk High. I always thought that was just super dope how they did it, and they just
Hmm.
put me in a more creative space. And yeah, man, it worked because I just, from final product, I felt like we got to where, you can draw inspiration, but you don't have to be exactly the same way. And
Facts.
that's when I started looking at the airship in a way that like, man, I just need the characteristics that I love on shoes. Patent, the double swoosh,
Yeah.
suede, um, the embroidery. There were just so many things that I was like, yo, this may be the closest I get to a classic. So why
Yeah.
not bring it to life the way that, we've seen classics done, but in our way.
Yeah.
So that's how that happened, man. And, I don't know if you know about the Easter eggs behind the tongue on that shoe, but like that one, the right shoe, if you
Yes.
flip up,
I love you, Larry.
yeah, so that's from my
That's
dad.
your friend, right?
Nah, that's from my dad. The left shoe
Okay.
is Aubrey, and Aubrey's the guy that I mentioned as just the motivation to have some urgency, man. So yeah, man,
Okay.
that's just super dope to me, and I'm thankful that Jordan Brand they saw that with me as well.
Yeah.
Because like really they're like family over there, and like man, anything in my life the last 3 years, they've been pat me on the back. They've been, pushing me to get better, and they've been the shoulder I needed when I needed it. So, shout out to my Jordan family, man.
Big shouts out to Jordan Brand. Big shouts out. Hopefully one day, the Airship King will get a chance to work with Jordan Brand, but we'll see. We'll see. But Matt, I would like to say I'm a footwear designer. I mean, I've designed some shoes myself. I've made some shoes from scratch, taken a shoe surgeon class, and I've like studied. And my goal is to work in the footwear industry. But for this process of the airship, how long would you say it took from like idea to realization in regards to going through samples, materials, and all that? About how long is that process?
Let's see. So I was contacted in April. What year was that? So Rebellionaire was what, March of '07? Or no, I'm sorry, '07. Of Was that '02? Well, 2022?
22, I think so. The Rebellionaire 22, because it's what 23 last year. Yeah,
Whatever
22,
Rebellionaire was.
22.
So
Yeah.
March, we did Rebellionaire. At the end of April, they hit me up. They were like, yo, let's talk about the airship. And I think May, we started to, pile up some ideas. Our first conversation was in June. And then my next visit was at Labor Day weekend. I ruptured my Achilles, so Labor Day came out September of last year. So almost like a year and a half from the first initial meeting to getting it done. Like it was
Okay.
almost a year and a half of creation time.
So
Yeah.
how many samples in that process did you go through? I know you showed that sample. I'm sure you probably had maybe one or two iterations of this sample or this shoe. But about how many samples would you say you probably went through?
Not pictured. There were three other colors that we
Okay.
had. So I say 2 rounds of sampling, and
Okay.
then my final was completed December. Yeah, December, and then we released the following September. But yeah, man, my I was pretty quick actually, but that goes because I was one of the guys that was like, "Yo, I'm gonna come visit you. I'm gonna be there when we can talk
Yeah.
about it." I didn't do anything over Zoom.
Okay.
One of the things like, man, I have this opportunity. I'm not gonna just do it over the computer, man. I'm just
Nah, I feel that. Yeah,
like,
I feel that.
yo, my frequent flyer miles that year were amazing because of all the trips that I took, and like I said.
Mhm.
I wasn't letting anything stop me, not even a ruptured Achilles, bro. Like I was walking on campus in the boot. I was out here like just trying to get it done.
I think that's the best way to go about it. Because same with me when I'm creating anything. Like if I had the opportunity to go and be in the essence and aura of, like, let's say Nike, and be there with the creative team, like possibly look at the DNA archives to get other inspiration. Like I'm in there. Like I'm treating it
Yeah.
like a trip. So,
Hey, listen,
I feel
man.
that.
Yeah.
Like,
No, you 100% right. And I'm super thankful for the way that the team they welcomed me too, man. Like we went to DNA and they're like, we just want you to see, what you trying to live amongst. And I thought that
yeah,
was like one of those moments where you like, man, you don't even know how long I've been trying to hear that, man. So
yeah,
hear that and to go through that, and I'm talking about DNA for Nike is just insane, man. Like every shoe, obscure shoe that you thought only you had, they got it, and you just
I'm
look at
sure.
the shoes
Yeah.
like, hey, man, this takes me back. And then we peeled off into our meeting, and it's just like it was overload the first time.
I know when everybody got to Oregon, we taking a step away from the airship right quick. When everybody got to Oregon, they always talk about the company store. Like, did you take some time and check that out?
No, so one thing about me, I've been traveling to Nike campus 10 years without an invite for real, bro. Like I just
Wow.
spoke on my boys, but like, company store for me is just like, bro, thankfully I have access to, just everything that I want for real, man, through the shop. So now, company store, you go in the first time, your eyes big as heck. Then the second time, when the older you get, the more you're like, oh, I need to re-up on my socks. I need to re-up on my hoodie or whatever your favorite
Yeah.
piece is. Like that's just what, and then for me now, I go in the company store and I'm like, I want to look at all the performance shoes. Like I
Okay.
want to buy like the most expensive performance runner just so I have it. You know what I mean? And that's just
Yeah.
where I'm at with it. But I do see, they got some heat in there sometimes. So
But yeah, that's on my bucket list. And you mentioned like, you've been there, kind of been there, done that, but you get all that you want pretty much through the store. I know a conversation we had briefly through the DMs. I can't even remember what shoe it was that you had on, because I replied to one of the shoes that you had on in your picture, and I was like, I know the collection crazy. Like, if you was to take a guess at the amount of shoes you amassed over the years of collecting, could you put a number on it, or do you have a number?
my foot stopped growing around the eighth grade. So I've been in a nine since what's that, like 14 years old.
Yeah.
So I was able to keep like everything. So from what was that, 2000 to 2007, I had close to about 600 pairs of shoes. And
Shoot.
unfortunately, my house was broken into and they stole
Mm,
all my shoes except for like 20 pairs or something crazy. It was like
damn.
20 left. So if I add that number up with where I'm at currently, I'd be close to 1,500. I know the other day, just because like I know how many places there are on the wall and how many shoes can fit in it. I
Hmm.
got it, and I was at 600 on one side, and on the other side I had close to like 300. So yeah,
Okay.
man, it's just it's too many, to be honest. Like now, my nephew came over last week. I think he got like, close to 8 to 10 pairs just because we're in the
Okay.
size now. So he's loving it. But like, man, to be honest, I want to get down to maybe like 300 because I have 150 different fours.
Hmm.
I have, I like wearing, like I said, I like wearing new runners. I like
Yeah.
wearing comfortable shoes now. And so I'm like, come on, man. Like some of these shoes, I'm like, I'm never gonna wear. Like that shit
I
ain't comfortable no more.
feel that. So what's in rotation right now? What you got in rotation? Just off the head, if you could think of.
What's in my rotation?
Yeah.
Now, let's see. So we just got New Balance back at the shop. So I've been
Okay.
running so all my New Balance that I've kept on ice for like the last 5 years, I started to roll out those. So there's
Okay.
some New Balance in there. Asics, I'm a Kayano guy. Um
Love the Cayano.
well, man, I used to run cross country in these shoes. So now like
Oh,
that they're fashionable,
nostalgia.
like damn, like man, these shoes is always comfortable. So that's cool. Um, from Nike, I'm very excited about the Air Max DN. I know a lot of
Yeah.
people are like, I'm telling you guys, like, it's super comfortable. The four bags in the back are just
Yeah.
like, man, just so comfortable. So really excited about those and the colors that they're possibly gonna have. And then,
Yeah.
um, from Jordan Brand, the fours this year, it seems to be the fours and the one lows are what I'm excited about. And then I'm
Yeah.
also the game shoe. Hold up. I always I always try to support the game shoe. So
Yeah.
I've been hooping in these lows and working out in these lows a lot. And I love those. So man, I always will be like a nerd for the new silhouette.
Yeah. I seen the 38 lows on foot. Somebody styled them. And to be honest, I was like, if I didn't see them styled, I probably wouldn't look twice at them. Now I'm like, yeah, I gotta grab a couple pairs. Like, is I think in the 30s, I think it might have been like the 36. that really kind of, I guess had me in a chokehold because I was like, I love the 36 and the 36 low. And I was like, yeah, I like those. It wasn't too many in the 30s that I was like, I was jocking, but them
Yeah,
38s, them 38 lows specifically, yeah, I'm
yeah.
like,
38 lows, like, man, it just feels so good on foot. And it has the Zoom X cushioning in the heel. And
okay.
that, like any of the Nike shoes with that Zoom X, like, sign me up. So,
I feel that. Now, I know we talked about the airship that you've done and even your collection. Is there anything we can look forward to coming up soon, possibly with Nike and Jordan brand? If you're able to talk about anything like that.
man, right now, there's nothing currently on the schedule. But man,
Mm-hmm.
just waiting my turn, man, just chilling out. Other offers on footwear, collaborative projects. So we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. This year we're just kind of taking a step back though, just to put, more emphasis on our brand. As you can
Yeah.
see, the basketball is behind me.
Yeah.
Um,
I know you be at the Cincinnati games all the
oh
time.
yeah. Well, this one will be coming out this year.
Oh,
Black
smooth.
and Gold Spalding. This has a unique story. It wears away, and it actually tells the person that continued to practice with it. Like, man, that's what it takes to be great. So,
Okay.
really excited about this basketball finally coming out. Um, you
Now
know,
that sounds fire. So when you say wear away, like the color, the black strips off and it turns to another color,
but you can
and it
only
has quote. Does it have quotes under it? Because you said it
yeah,
tells the.
yeah, yeah. So,
That's
it takes
hard.
10,000 hours to master something, right?
Yeah.
So it's basically encouraging, whoever's hooping with this ball, like, yo, keep going. Like, if
Yeah.
you're really about that, if you really want your goals, like, you got to keep playing. And also, one thing that I think we don't do enough is encourage kids to actually get out and get physical activity. So
Yeah.
my thought was, yo, man, what if it take my daughter 5 years to wear away this material? Like,
Yeah.
so be it. It's gonna be something that she could take away from it.
Well, look, man, I'm gonna need two of those. So I, I gotta add that to the collection. That's hard. That's a hard story. Like because, like you said, a lot of kids don't get that physical aspect, and a lot of kids they have a dream but don't understand that 10,000 hours is mandatory. Like you gotta have that, and I think having that ball as a representation of that 10,000 hours is genius. So great job on execution with that.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, just trying to get it right, man.
Like what you want to tell anybody watching this to keep them going? But
Hey, watching this, I just hope that you realize, like, man, it can happen to you too. You just gotta work hard. You got to be persistent, and you got to just try to stay on people's minds, man. Like, do the little things. Ask people how they're doing. Make sure that you're personable, and as well as you're a good listener. The other thing is, man, just keep your faith. Like, I'm grounded in mine, so I know that I'm gonna be okay no matter what, right? And sometimes, I don't know what faith anybody is, but you just gotta be grounded in something first. Like, so that's my advice to people, and just work hard. And when you need a hand, I'm sure there'll be somebody that sees it too. If you're working hard, people want to help that person. They rather
yeah,
help that person than the person that's sitting there complaining the whole time. So, man, just have
exactly.
faith. Like, yeah, have faith that you're gonna get the right people around you too. And go find them too. Relocating was one of the scariest and most rewarding things that I've done in my life. Moving from Cincinnati, Ohio to Minneapolis, Minnesota, and freezing my ass off, I would again over and over and over if I knew that the outcome was gonna be like this.
That's what's up. Man,
Man,
Matt, I appreciate that. I appreciate you being here. Kick Crew, this was episode 3 of Kicks and with Matt Michael and Corporate Got 'em. We'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.